Good morning and welcome to Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening's Sunday morning service. We are so glad you're with us. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Can you feel the love of all who've gathered round? You are worthy of this gift of love right now. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Lay all your fears and all your doubts aside. Let go of all the hurt you hold inside. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Well, who'd have known that who you are is enough? And who'd have known that you could be so loved? Well, we knew. Now you know. Yes, we knew. Now you know. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Open your heart and feel the love that we have for you this morning from Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening, located in Charlotte, North Carolina, but broadcasting to wherever you are. We are so glad that you're part of our beloved community, where we believe that there's one power, one presence, whether you call it God or universe or source or spirit, the one power that is moving through everything, connecting us all. And we also believe that we have the ability with every thought to live a life that is full and rich and harmonious and love-filled and working for everyone, working in cooperation with one another to awaken to our divine potential. That's what we're continually looking to do and to help one another do as we lift one another up, to remember that who and how you are is perfect, perfectly made for a perfect purpose. So thank you for being here with us this morning. We are so grateful to be able to connect with you through the interwebs and also to connect with you in person, coming just as soon as our new space is available in NODA in the near Center City of uptown of Charlotte. And hopefully that will be in just a few more weeks. So we will keep you posted on that. You can stay tuned with us on Facebook, on our Instagram page, or our website, awakeningcarolina.org. Any of those ways to stay plugged in. We also have a wonderful newsletter that keeps you in the know, and we have text to a text option too that we can text you updates. So just let us know if you have questions. info@awakeningcarolina.org. If you have prayer requests, prayer@awakeningcarolina.org. So let's just take a moment. This morning we're going to be taking several moments to just remember that we can be as fluid with life as we choose to be. The title of my talk today is Be Water. Be Water, and actually was inspired by the reading that one of our prayer practitioner interns chose, Donna Heil. She's going to share a reading with you shortly, and I love the reading. It's from the Book of Awakening that we are looking at together this year by Mark Nepo. And so the service this morning is all about being open and being fluid and flowing. So of course I thought of this beautiful song by my dear friend Eddie Watkins Jr., Flow, Spirit, flow through me. So let's take a moment and just feel the indwelling presence of divine love and divine wisdom flowing through us.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
I open my mind and my heart this morning to let every word, every breath count. To in every day, in every way, let Spirit flow through me. I want to be an expression of the unfolding love of the divine. I am expressing the love of the divine. And so I allow every decision to cut through confusion as this Spirit flows through me. I open and I let Spirit lead the way past any worry or doubt or fear. I flow through life as love. I am love.
Every thought I think, flow through me. Oh yeah, Spirit, flow through me. Every word I say, flow through me. Every night and day, flow through me. I wanna be an expression of Spirit, your unfolding love. Every decision, flow through me. Through the confusion, flow through me. Flow through me, Mother, Father, flow through me. And I open up, Spirit, flow through me. So let your Spirit lead the way. Flow through me. I'm not worried, flow through me. 'Cause I know, flow through me. That as I believe, Spirit, flow through me. So it is, flow through me. When I wake up in the morning, flow through me. And when I put on my clothes, flow through me. And go about my day, Spirit, flow through me. Let me touch somebody, flow through me. Let me love somebody, flow through me. Let me help somebody, flow through me. Flow through Spirit, flow through me.
Good morning. I'm Donna Heil, and I'm going to do today's reading for you. I've selected today's reading out of the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo again. This time I randomly just flipped open the book, and it opened up to my birthday, and the title was Love Like Water, which I thought was most appropriate because I wanted to use this painting today. I painted this when I was on a personal retreat at Reverend Christy and Angie's beautiful place at Thurman, North Carolina. So I highly recommend the personal retreat, and it also worked perfect for this reading. Love like water. Only love with no thought of return can soften the point of suffering. Water, in its clear softness, fills whatever hole it finds. It is not skeptical or distrusting. It does not say this gully is too deep or the field is too open. Like water, the miracle of love is that it covers whatever it touches, making the touched thing grow while leaving no trace of its touch. True, of the faces of shore and the arms of cliffs are worn to the bone, but this is beyond the water's doing. This is the progress of life, of which water is but an element. Most things break instead of transform because they resist. The quiet miracle of love is that without our interference, it, like water, accepts whatever is tossed or dropped or placed into it, embracing it completely. Of course, we are human and are easily hurt if not loved back or if loved poorly. But we waste so much of life's energy by deliberating who or what shall be worthy of our love, when in the deepest elemental sense, those choices are not in our province, any more than rain can choose what it shall fall upon. Certainly, we need to make decisions. Who will I spend time with? Who will I learn from? Who will I live with? Who will I marry? But beneath all that, the element of love doesn't stop being elemental. It does not stop covering everything before it. And over a lifetime, the pain of withholding this great and quiet force is more damaging than the pain of being rejected or loved poorly. For love, like water, can be dammed, but toward what end? In truth, the more we let love flow through, the more we have to love. This is the inner glow that sages and saints of all ages seem to share, the wash of their love over everything before them, not just people, but birds and rocks and flowers and air. Beneath the many choices we have to make, love, like water, flows back into the world through us. It is the one great secret available to all. Yet somewhere, the misconception has been enshrined that to withhold love will stop hurt. In truth, it is the other way around. As water soaks scars, love soothes our wounds. If open to, love will accept the angrily thrown stone, and our small tears will lose some of their burn in the great ocean of tears. And the arrow released to the bottom of the river will lose its point. And the little meditation they have after this reading is, choose a quiet spot and in a moment of meditation, open to the water of spirit that runs beneath everything. Let the energy of love rise from you to the simple objects before you. Feel the energy of love in the air surrounding the chair, or the cup, or the pencil, or the piece of broken window. Imagine you are the broken window or pencil. Feel the air on your skin of glass or wood. Look upon this one single object the way you would look upon a lover. Without naming this, just feel the intensity of attention coming from you with no particular place to go. Thank you.
I've seen my share of struggle when I thought that I knew best, when I've sailed through a storm instead of stopping to rest. And it always seems the hardest when I've made up my stubborn mind. Well, I'm changing my ways this time. Wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. Have you ever seen an eagle head straight into the wind? He doesn't pick a fight, he spreads his wings and just gives in. And in the end he always makes it home just fine. I guess he knows that every storm subsides. Wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. I'll let nature take its course. No more thinking that I know where this river's meant to go. I have railed against the stars for the cards that I've been dealt, for the lottery I've never won, for the heartache that I've felt. But it always seems when I let go of expectation and regret, life has plenty of surprises for me, yeah. I wanna be like water, coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. Wanna be like water, coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea.
So last week, I touched a couple times on the idea that Pema Chodron talks about in her book, Welcoming the Unwelcome, or maybe it was the week before. Recently, I touched on the idea of living between aversion and desire, and that how a lot of times that we're just going back and forth from wanting a thing, desiring something, or avoiding something else, right? And it reminds me of like a rubber band. If the peace lies in the rubber band just being loose, right? And when we're trying to really avoid something, it's pulled really, really tight. It's flying through the air, it's the desire, whatever. But it's that place. Sometimes we get pulled so tightly, don't we? Like a tight rubber band, just because we're trying to live in between aversion and desire, going back and forth, instead of just being in the now moment and being at peace. That whole Ram Dass, he did a talk on it, and he said it's like you're constantly either going or It makes me think of my sweet little niece Ellie. She gets so excited sometimes, and she goes ooh, right? So there's nothing wrong with being excited. That's wonderful. But when we're so longing for something to be different in one way or the other, trying to avoid it or trying to create something else in such an intense way that we can't be fully present in the now, that's where the problem comes in, right? And so what I want to look at this morning is how can we be more fluid, right? How can we be more fluid with life? We have a tendency to get so attached to our desires is the thing. It's not desire itself. It's the attachment to those desires that cause the suffering, not necessarily desiring something to be different or desiring something to manifest in your life. Like right now, we very much are very much desiring and looking forward to our new church home, our new space where we can come together in person. And it would have robbed a whole lot of joy for me personally if I had not been able to live in a space of this present moment since last August when the space was supposedly going to be finished, right? And then it was September, and then it was December, and then it was, by the end of the year, and then by the first of the year, and then by February, and then by, at least by the middle of February, at least by the end of February. It is getting very close, and we're very excited to say that it is going to be really, really soon. I don't know exact date yet. But my point is, what if we had been like, you said it was going to be done by this date. You said it was going to be done by this date. So many times in our lives, we want to just point and blame, and you said, and you are the reason that I'm not in my joy. No, we can skip that. We can skip that part and not even go there without losing our energy, losing our peace, losing our love, losing our ability to flow freely with life. It wasn't anybody's fault. There's nothing to blame. There's nothing to be upset about or angry about. Yes, we're excited to be together, but guess what? There's been this huge wave of COVID as well. So let's let that go ahead and die down a bit, and then it'll be perfect timing. There's always a blessing in delay. So I choose to remember that there's a blessing in delay instead of wasting my energy coming out of my love and being one of those, reactionary sorts. I don't want to live that way. It reminds me of another story that Ram Dass would tell about a man in a boat, a rowboat, and the fog, really intense fog, and another boat hits him. He just feels that other boat hit him. And he says, "Wait, hey, watch where you're going. Hey, man, look out. Watch where you're going. Pay attention." And then right then the fog lifts and the other boat is empty. Right? Everything is our own consciousness outpicturing in our experience, either individually or collectively. It's consciousness unfolding, consciousness outpicturing into reality. And so we need to stop yelling at it, right? And just be with what is unfolding and showing up as our reality. And if it's not what we want, then we change it. Because what we focus on, we attract and create in our world. We are amazing, creative beings like that. So let's use that for a positive end. Henry Beecher said, "You are only sure of today. Do not let yourself be cheated out of it." Don't miss the joy of this moment by running to the joy of the next moment is the point. That's being fluid with life, being right here in the joy of this moment, flowing with life. Our affirmation today is, I flow freely with the process of life. I've been saying this affirmation for 20 years. I love it. I flow freely with the process of life. Another one is, I live from harmony, peace, love, and joy as I flow with life and life flows through me. Flow. So, of course, I thought of an acronym for flow. Follow, listen, open, wait. Follow what? Follow your guidance. Follow your intuition. That spirit moving through you. It's not nonsense. It is your God-given intuition is important. It is spirit speaking to you. So pay attention and follow it. In other words, act on it. Don't just get these gut reads, these urges to these these divine urges, divine impulses, and then ignore them, but rather follow them, act on them. Follow them, act on them. When I think of the reading that Donna shared, she said, like water, the miracle of love is that it covers whatever it touches, making the touched thing grow while leaving no trace of its touch. Follow your guidance, your intuition, to be love, to let love lead. Most people I know do not like going to the post office. I love going to the post office, mainly because I get to see John. And John is one of the most vibrantly alive and joy-filled people I've ever seen. He makes my day better just by walking in the door and seeing his smile. I want to follow that example to make something better because it touched me. I grow from the touch of that loving person. I grow back into and into the world more alive with love just by being in the post office. I want to follow that example. I want to act on that. So follow to be in the flow of life. Follow your intuition. Follow the examples of love. Follow. Next is listen. 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 Your life is speaking. So like the guy in the canoe, stop yelling at it, right? Stop yelling at your life and listen to what it's showing you. Listen to what's being made obvious. I remember my own boat story. I have several, but one, I was on a Canadian canoeing, backpacking, camping trip that I've talked about many times. It was a trip of a lifetime with 3 dear friends many, many years ago. And you're in a tiny tent with 4 people. You're on a 2-week excursion in the wilderness with 4 people. You're sharing a canoe with one other person, and you're tight, right? And it eventually, inevitably, you're going to get a little friction from the tightness. Anyway, I was in a mood. Let's just skip to the chase. I was in a mood in this particular canoe story. And my ego got all involved in this disagreement I had with one of the other folks, and I was done. I wanted my space. And I was going to just take care of my stuff on my own. Well, my particular chore for that night was to get the water, to pump the water. And you had to go out from the shore, because if you pump the water too close to the shore, it tasted like fish, and nobody wanted that. So you have to be out a little ways. And I was so in my ego and in my attitude that I forgot to do it while we were still out and they could hold the boats still, right? So we get to the shore and I'm like, just forget it. I'll do it myself. I don't need you. I don't need any of you. I can do it myself. And I'm just all, gonna just go. And now paying attention to what your life is making obvious. Remember, this is what we're talking about, being in the flow. We got follow, we got listen. I was not listening to what my life was making obvious to me, that I needed help, that I needed to let my ego go, that I needed to let down my guard and my defensiveness and my posturing. But no, I was holding on to all of them because I was right. And I was right. And that's all that mattered in that moment. So I took the canoe back out. Well, here's the thing. We were camping that particular night on an island. And as you took the canoe back out far enough to be out of fishy tasting water, you were just in the avenue, the corridor of the wind. The minute I got back out to that depth of water, the wind hit me and I was spinning like a top in the back of this canoe that went like this, and I'm looking like a top, and they're laughing their butts off on the shore over here, and I'm madder and madder because I still don't need their help, and I'm not going to ask for their help. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. This is how I die. I'm a spinning top, and I'm just going to capsize out here, and from my hubris, I'm going to die until finally and I almost lost the bottles, which would have been a really bad thing because we couldn't have, gotten more fresh water. So I finally get all the bottles back in, and without any bottled water at this point, I finally managed to get out of the wind and back over, and they had to literally come to the edge up to like here, all three of them, and pull me back in, laughing hysterically as they do. And I'm still fuming mad. What was being made obvious? Took me a few days of being stuck in my stuff before I paid attention and I listened to my life speaking to me instead of yelling at my life, right? I was yelling at my life instead of listening to what my life was gently saying. Be in this moment. Stop fighting. Stop being in your ego. Stop being in resistance. Ask for help. Be in this space of peace that you cultivate and crave. So follow, listen. And the next one is open, staying open. Being open to the new, open to whatever is trying to unfold when you pay attention to what your life is saying to you. Pay attention to what is trying to unfold as your next step. And then having the courage to do that, knowing that what got you here won't get you there. So the tools that you use to get to this point in your life, you're going to need different ones to get to a different place. If you want something different in your life, you have to be different. In the reading that Donna shared, it says, over a lifetime, the pain of withholding this great and quiet force, the force of love, is more damaging than the pain of being rejected or loved poorly. Staying open is being able to do something new. It's even and especially in our relationships. We're all in relationship with one another, and yet we try to still communicate in the same way with a person, even when that has never worked, right? So whether it's communication in relationships, whether it's trying something new for a career, being open, knowing that your natural state is love and joy, and you can't, hold that back. To be safe, to be protected. You can, but it causes suffering instead of allowing you to be fully submerged in and immersed in this now beautiful moment. Flow with life. Follow, listen, open, and wait. Wait. Practice the pause. Practice patience. Wait. I've always loved this quote from Isaiah 40:31. I used to have it in high school. I had it in my room, and in college I had it in my room. I had it framed after college. I loved that quote. And it said, but they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. I've always loved it, but it wasn't until I read a book called In the Flow of Life by Eric Butterworth that he talked about the Hebrew word that means wait in that verse. And that word actually means to bind, B-I-N-D, to bind, to unite, which in essence is saying, I'm going to get in tune with the divine source of all life. When I get in tune, but those who get in tune, so take that out. So instead of those who wait upon the Lord, think of it this way. Those who get in tune with divine energy, divine love, divine wisdom. When I get in tune with the divine, then I'm strong. I'm renewed. I can go the distance. I can practice that pause and be in that now moment with joy and not worrying about being right, being protected, being able to forecast the future, being able to change someone else. But I'm in tune with divine love and divine wisdom. That allows me to, as the reading also said, to recognize that as an arrow is released to the bottom of the river, it loses its point. In other words, that regret, frustration, anger that we sometimes want to lash out with on the world, when we practice that pause, we wait, we unite, we get in tune with the divine substance flowing through us instead of that ego self that says, I can do this alone. I don't need your help. I'm spinning around like a top in the middle of this huge lake, but I'm good, right? Let that go. Be able to wait, to get in tune with the divine energy that is flowing through you, that is connecting you to all of life. It's surrendering the pain and the frustration and the anger that we have sometimes in life into the river of love. It is allowing yourself to feel the intensity of your attention, but not needing it to go any particular place, just being with it. Can you just be? Even if it's for 30 minutes in a day, can you just take on that challenge with me? To give yourself 30 minutes every single day to just be, no agenda. And this is harder than you may think, because you may be sitting there going, oh, girl, I meditate 30 minutes every day. Or I do spiritual practices for an hour and a half every day. But here's the thing. I'm asking you to take 30 minutes and do nothing but focus on your breathing and being present. Focus on your breathing in and out. The feelings in your body. Focus on body awareness, but nothing else. Don't think about anything else. You don't even have to think about your body. Just allow yourself to be in that moment, doing nothing. No agenda for 30 minutes. That's your challenge this week. Surrendering into that moment is resting, right? It's like that beautiful Daniel Nahmod song. When I let go, my stubborn mind lets go of attachment, I can rest. I want to be like water, flowing down into the canyon from pool to stream, uphill no more, bound for the sea. I want to flow, not push the river uphill. I want to flow like an eagle giving in to the wind. When I let go of expectation and regret, life has plenty of surprises yet. Daniel Nahmod, a song called Water. Absolutely love it. This love that I'm talking about, love like water. What's love got to do with it, right? Tina Turner, what's love got to do? What's love got to do with it? It takes us into that place where we can let go of hurts, we can let go of resentments and regrets, and we can come back to love. First, self-love connection to agape love, and then allowing that love to spill out from us and remind us of our connection to one another, being one with what is happening by recognizing that everything is happening from the one, right? Being with it, nothing being done to us, only being done through us. I flow freely with the process of life. Say it with me. I flow freely with the process of life. I live in harmony, joy, peace, and love. I live in harmony, joy, peace, and love as I flow with life and life flows through me. And so it is, and so we let it be.
Hello again. I'd also like to share with you a affirmative prayer treatment from a Creative Thought magazine. It's entitled, I Love and Approve of Myself. In the infinity of all life lies the perfect being. This is the birthplace of all creation. Total health, joyous happiness, wonderful relationships, eternal youthfulness, prosperity, peace, and love all begin in this sacred place. I know that this place is the innermost place in my consciousness. As I tap into Source, I claim and affirm that these qualities are who I am and what I am. As I believe this is true within, I then see them manifest in my outer world. I know all work begins in my mind and begins by loving myself. I love and approve of myself exactly as I am. When thoughts to the contrary seep into my mind, I quickly negate them, giving no importance to them. I realize that negative thoughts are fear-based and keep me from moving forward. I let go of resistance by remembering I have power over my thoughts. I can change the direction of my thoughts and choose thoughts that nourish and support me. I believe I am worthy, unique, and important to the life I have come here to express. I love myself right here, right now, in this moment. With ease and joy, I step forward into my day, loving myself and life with absolute delight. And so it is. Namaste.
Kids, we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we love you just the way that you are. Divine love, moving through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. So again, thank you for joining us this morning. And as the affirmation just said, divine love moving through me. I want you to think about that today and every day, that we have divine love, divine wisdom moving through us, and we are being fed and nourished and replenished every single moment that we are open to allowing that awareness to be so. So when I say we live in reciprocity with the universe, we're doing a dance of reciprocity with the universe, I just mean that there's a give and there's a receiving. There's a giving and there's a receiving. And so as we give, we receive. So I give from a place of knowing that truth, knowing that everything I give out of gratitude and out of a knowing that my good is inexhaustible, that my God is inexhaustible, it returns to me, multiplied to overflowing. And so we say, we believe at Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening, we believe in tithing. Tithing is giving 1/10 of all that we receive back to the source of our spiritual food. The source, of course, there's only one source, as my mentor Edwin Gaines would say, God is my only source, only need one source, right? But from that one source of good, there shows up many ways in which we receive, many avenues. For me, one of those major avenues is this center. I also am spiritually fed by musicians and other organizations. And so I give. And our organization, CCSA, Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening, we give 10% back to where we feel spiritually fed. So I always like to take a moment just occasionally and remind people that what is spiritual food? Spiritual food is where I feel alive. Think anything, a song, a message, anything that reminds me of the truth of who I am, that I am love and light, created in the image and the likeness of the Most High. Anything that is truth teaching that brings me back to the absolute knowing that who and how I am is perfect. Anything that enlivens my spirit and reminds me of the truth of who I am, that's spiritual food. And so we believe in giving back to where we receive our spiritual food. So whether you're giving a tithe, 10% of your income, or you're giving a one-time gift, or whatever it is that you're giving, I encourage you in this moment to just be with me in gratitude for all the good in our lives as I speak this word. Beloved God, thank you for moving through my life in such a way that blesses every relationship, that blesses my physical body with nourishment, that blesses my spiritual body with nourishment. I am so grateful for all of the good and all of the ways in which it shows up in my life. I'm grateful for this beloved community, and I'm grateful for all the work that we do in the world, continually awakening to our divine potential and helping others do the same. creating this beautiful experience of heaven on earth, of people working together in cooperation and love and joy and harmony. Thank you. And so I just say thank you for each and every person joining us today, or as this broadcast airs later, just each and every person in this experience with us. I'm so grateful. And I say thank you for our board, for our volunteers, for our musicians, our friends who donate their time and their talent and their music. I'm so grateful. And so we just, with a breath of gratitude, release this day and this service, knowing that all is good and all is God, and we just let it be so. And so it is. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let it be. We let the love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We love you, we bless you, and we thank you. Have a fantastic week. See you soon.